Hello and welcome back to Colquhoun Rises, as we play in Clanfolk. This is part 2 of our little series that we're doing about this little family here from Clan Colquhoun. Arthur, clan chief, he's working away. So far we're doing alright. We've got ourselves a little hovel here, we've got a little shed here that we're keeping some food in as well, just to keep things a little bit tastier rather than keeping them out in the open. As it stands, currently 6 days into summer, not doing too bad, so we'll just carry on. Main thing is we've got food supplies lasting us for 4 days, and we're making our way up the tech tree. A couple of things that we could potentially start doing, like we could try and start to grow some more things. Obviously we got our reeds over here, but there are other things as well that we can work on as well. So far, as when it comes to things like trees, don't think we need to worry or anything like that. I think we're okay for just now. Main thing is that we can keep on working away and keep things being produced. Now, we have 3 snares, and I do spy a couple of rabbits over here, so I think what we do is we set ourselves up a couple of snares just around this rabbit area here, and we try and see if we can snag ourselves a couple of rabbits just to get some meat. I think that'd be quite nice if we manage to do that. So we'll spook the rabbits a little bit, that's fine. We're just going to set up these snares over here, and hopefully one of the rabbits will follow into them when we get a second. We've got our other snares set up over here. Should just help us get a little bit extra food together. As it stands here, these berry bushes don't seem like they're... Oh no, they are. There we go. We'll collect a couple of berries, might as well get some more food. And we've managed to unlock a few more things. We've built a couple of sacks, or we built one sack rather. So that's unlocked us the ability to make some sackcloth shirts and some sackcloth bottoms as well. I think what we're going to do is we're going to say actually we want 5 of them at all times, just to make sure people have some clothes that they can wear. Because while we're alright for just now, we are in the middle of summer. It is going to get colder. We got to worry about that. Currently just now it's a very, very high 30 degrees. Oh, that's a bit warm for me. Even inside this room it's 25. I would be sweating like a pig. It's got to be said. Obviously that's Celsius, not Fahrenheit, or anybody from America. But I can't even think what that is in Fahrenheit. Not very used to Fahrenheit, must be said. But yeah, so we've managed to build up a small little kind of community bit here. What I think we want to do now is we want to think about maybe building up some houses. And by houses I just mean like some rooms for people to effectively stay in. Obviously we've got our bed situation sorted out for just now, but we haven't got anything else done. Another thing we could do is we could start to build some gravel paths, which I actually don't think is a bad idea either. We can just build some paths just so people can move quickly from the storage area here over to our little house. It's going to take us quite a few stones in order to do, but yeah, it's definitely not a bad idea to do. It just makes people walk a little bit faster as well. There we go, I think that'll be good. Get some gravel paths on the go, and then we can move about. There are plenty of little bluebells. There's plenty of stones over here that we could use as well in order to do that. And perfect. We have actually managed to unlock bloomeries. So bloomeries is how we create our iron. And by getting iron, that's going to help us quite a lot when it comes to making better tools and better things like that. Real question is where to put it. Because the annoying thing is the bloomery is stopped by rain, but it also throws sparks. So we could put it over here, but we're going to have to clear this out in terms of flammable materials. So yeah, I think we'll do that. What we'll do is we'll make sure that we don't put anything flammable here. Unfortunately, we do have to put a straw roof over it, which the one is already one there. That's perfect. And that could cause us some issues in the future. So let's make sure as well that we're clearing out everything here. We want nothing that can possibly be set alight there, and we're actually going to gravel up all of this path here as well. Need some more stones. We collect a couple of stones from here, but yeah, let's just gather up all the stones from here that we can, just so we can use that for our little path that we're making. There's some over here by the mountain as well that we can use to help us out. Yeah, overall things not looking too bad for us, and that's a good place to be. We could start hunting some wild animals as well. Obviously we've got our eels that we're fishing for over here. But we could start to maybe potentially think about hunting some deer just so we can get some extra meat. That could always be nice. Or we can just go as we are. We currently got 6 days of food, so we've got plenty of stuff there. We finally unlocked some extra big rock walls, just from the large boulders that we've managed to get, so we can get stone floors as well. Something we could potentially think about putting in for our little campfire here. We've also got a dry stone fence as well. Another thing we can think of doing as well, if we want to, we can build a little wall here. And that should help stop the light from getting into people's eyes when they're trying to sleep. But I don't think we'll worry about that so much for just now, at the very least. I think we're doing a-okay. Main thing is that we're getting stuff done and people are working away quite nicely. Do we have anything else we could use for food? We could make a cooking pot, which lets us make porridge or stews or whatever we have, just to help keep people fed. That's not necessarily a bad idea, but it's something to think about at the very least. I think we just continue on, we make a gravel path up, try and make sure that people are moving about efficiently. We've got the food supplies for just now, and we've just got to get ourselves some iron. Now, when it comes to iron, we have got some nodes up here. That's very fortunate. So yeah, we can actually mine away this iron over here. And what we'll also do, just because we are going to come to winter, we're going to start harvesting up some peat. It's quite a labour-intensive job. We've got to get the peat harvested into blocks, and then we've got to start drying them as well. Now, we don't actually have any way to dry them at the moment. We don't have a peat rack that we can build. But once we get some peat together, we can start to do that. We've also got a wee traveller over here, so yes, we'll allow them to come stay with us. It's a bit of a smelly room. It's not a very nice room either, because, I mean, you're sharing it with a bunch of animals, you know, to keep warm. These things can happen. I think, yeah, we'll probably convert this into some kind of like barn, I imagine, sort of later on, and we'll kind of build up some more houses over here. The only thing is we've got another peat bog up here that's going to kind of limit our ability to build, but we could always kind of build a little bridge over here. Have something to think about, at the very least. The other thing you've got to think about as well is if you have separate houses, you've got to worry about how you're going to make sure that they're warmed, but usually you can get by with some peat stoves in the winter, just to keep everybody quite toasty. And just like that, we're done with another day, so people are sleeping away. Yeah, you can tell this place is a little bit smelly. There's probably some rotten feces in that the animals are just letting loose. Yeah, you can see it there. Nobody's cleaning that up. Lovely, it's what you want to see. You can also make some dry stone fences if we want, or a stone roof. To be fair, we could actually build a stone roof over here, just so the bloomery doesn't throw too many sparks out. I think that's probably not a bad idea, to be honest. So yeah, let's do that. We could make some composting stuff as well, but I think we're okay. Let's actually set up a small trading post once we get a second. We can potentially get some traders and get some money. We've got some coins, we're getting some from our visitors, which is always nice. But if we can trade away some of our raw goods for better ones that we can't produce quite yet, that's always an option that we have as well. And even though it's taking up a lot of our time, I think once we have these gravel paths finished, people will start to move and work far, far quicker. And we might as well, seeing as we have a lot of stones available for us. Yeah, we'll just come along and we'll just start getting some more of that. Now we have unlocked sackcloth hats, so we're going to wait until everybody has some clothes on them at the very least. How you doing, Hutchinson? You're doing okay. You're literally just wearing a plate at the moment, so yeah, we do kind of need to work on getting people some actual clothing. Yeah, same with Elspeth. Yeah, not many people actually have clothes on at the moment. To be fair, it is summer, so they're probably like, you know, I don't actually need it, but something to keep in mind. And we've got the idea for dry peat. So we're going to wait until these peat sticks dry. It does take some time for them to actually dry out, but eventually we should get a peat rack as well. And the other good thing about harvesting in these bogs is you get bog iron. And bog iron you can crush up, and you can turn it into iron ore. So you can either get iron ore through the act of mining in the mountains over here, or from harvesting from these peat sources. Hello, little wild cat. Little tomcat. Okay, interesting. We could always think about setting up a little... we've got the pet zones already. We don't quite have enough for like any kind of way of feeding them yet. That's something to keep in mind. We're going to have to keep a little eye on that tomcat. Hopefully they don't come for any of our chickens. There we go. Perfect. A peat stack. So what we're going to do is going to set up that peat stack here, just by this bit here, so people can haul it over any kind of peat that they harvest. And it can dry underneath this bit here. Get us a good store for the winter. We're going to put that on high priority, get that built. And we'll actually raise up the priority of this, because I do want this peat to be brought in as soon as possible. Yeah, things are going pretty well. We've got a pretty high task list, most of it to do with hauling, a little bit to do with building, but we're slowly but surely getting through that as we gather up the stones. So I'm not too worried about that. Food, still looking pretty good. We've got 5 days worth of food. There's going to be some mushrooms that are growing that we should be able to pick come the autumn time. Let's make sure as well that we've actually just got quite a lot of grass cut, because we're going to need some hay to get through the winter, and more importantly straw, because straw is very, very useful. A lot of decayed food, so we can see here that it's too warm within our little storage area. That's a little bit of a shame. It's 25 degrees. It's still 32 degrees outside. Oh dear. You would not like to see me in that. I'm currently sitting here in a jumper. It's quite comfy. It's finally got back to jumper weather, which I'm very, very happy with. But otherwise, everything kind of going quite well for the little family. Just building away. We're getting up some clay. Good stuff. Let's make sure as well we're going to gather some more stones. We've got an iron ore pile, because we're mining out this area over here. So this iron ore we'll be able to use with our bloomery. But we're going to make sure that people are actually working on that. And we've even got 2 little baby chickens. 2 little chooks. Male and a female one. That's good. They'll be from fertilized eggs, which is fine. That's why we've got the rooster. We can use them to either increase our amount of laying eggs, or laying hens, I should say. I think we will actually say for this little, male chick, yeah, we'll just slaughter him for now. Got ingots to be made over here in the bloomery. We're going to say that is 50. Probably will never get to 50, but it's always nice to dream big. And there we go, perfect. So that the fact that we've got all of this lovely gravel path means that people move faster. You can see it when people kind of move across it. They seem to be just a little bit faster than they otherwise would be. And also it stops the grass from growing here as well. Just so that the sparks that are thrown off by the bloomery accidentally set the house on fire. That wouldn't be fun. You can see here how far the sparks can go. We've actually got some mushrooms that have finished growing. So these stumps from the trees that we've cut down can grow mushrooms on them. Very good place for collecting up some extra food. And you know what, yeah, let's actually tell you guys to just harvest up these plants. Onions as well. That's a good find, that's a good find. Most of these are just ferns. That's okay. We found enough for a seed shelf and some roasted onions. Very nice, very nice. We could, we need more bowls for that. I would like to plant some onions if we can. Yeah, we can do that in the spring and summer. We've got a little bit of time. Honestly don't think it's that bad, but we do need to till a little bit of soil in order to do that. So let's just make a small onion farm over here. Like so. It's going to be a very small onion farm, unfortunately. Let's also just make sure that we are... Let's actually bring it down a little bit further, and we can get rid of the of this bit here. And I'm kind of wanting to wall this in, because I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that our animals may just eat this. So yeah, we will wall this off. Get ourselves a little gate here, and we can till that up, and we can plant some onions in that when we get a second. A couple more travelers that have arrived. Good to see. We could let them in. Yeah, you know what, Diane? We'll give the bed to you, Dooley. Off you go. Off you trot. That should do us for now. And how are we doing otherwise? Well, we've still got our house that's built here. We'll build up this one here. This will probably do us for the foreseeable future. The main thing that we've got to worry about more is the fact that we've got to keep warm somehow. That's going to be the biggest concern coming into the winter. Well, we can also make some tallow. You know what? We'll make some tallow. That's a good use of our meat. So yep, we'll do that. Anybody slaughtered that chicken yet? Not quite yet. We're thinking about it. Got some animals running about. Come on, get to bed. Just the sheep and the boar and such just wandering about, just looking for something to eat. Might cut down these trees that are kind of surrounding us here as well when we get a second. We do have a lot of jobs that need to be done, unfortunately. And they do just seem to be mounting up, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Got another new baby chicken. It's another male chicken, so yeah, we'll just say, hey, you know what, get rid of that. And we've got ourselves both thatched roofs, which are good because they use less straw than straw roofs. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually say, hey, everybody, just replace all of the roofs that we've made with thatched roofs, and that will include the stuff that we have outside as well. Straw is quite an important resource, especially the later on you get into the game, because you need to spend a lot of time getting straw. does look a little bit weird, or it will look a little bit weird because we've got this stone roof that's here over the top of this bloomery, but it's okay. We're doing all right. We might even actually say, hey, why don't you grab a iron ore pile and stick it down there, just so we can get all of our iron shipped over. We'll increase the speed up a wee bit. How is our guest doing? She is okay. She's not very well satisfied. She's at least well fed. So depending on how satisfied they are will depend on how much one they pay you, and also if their clan actually like you or not. Because if they don't, then that's not a good idea. But we'll talk about more about clans when we actually start getting into trading. Let's have a little look at our ideas. How are we doing? We're doing all right. We're missing this one here. We need to pick more mushrooms. We need to build a mushroom rack as well, it seems. But we haven't unlocked that yet. I'm probably needing some additional mushrooms to be gotten. But not to matter. We don't have any pluck, which is like organ meat. So we don't have to worry about that yet. We can't build a cat bed because we need to build a clothing basket first. That's kind of how the idea system in the game works. You have to collect a number of resources, or you have to build something in order to then be able to use it. But yeah, things looking not too bad, not too shabby at all. That's us on day 8 of summer. So we've still got a little bit of time before things start to turn a bit more autumnal. Definitely the temperature seems to have dropped. It's only 23 degrees outside at the moment. Still 24 degrees inside the room. Room being kept quite warm thanks to this campfire and just the fact that the cold isn't coming out that much. Not only that, but your animals will also produce a little bit of heat as well. It's a good idea to, when you're starting out, you don't have much in terms of things like firewood and that, just to keep your people in with the animals. It does keep them a little bit warmer. We could make some rushlight kits to act as a light source, but we'll probably put them in people's homes when we get a second. Alright, Arthur doing pretty well. We're replacing all of our straw with thatch, so just in order to try and speed things up. It does mean that we're going to be cutting into our dry peat supply ever so slightly, which isn't ideal, seeing as we'd also like to use that for heating during the winter. But it does mean that we're going to get a bunch of straw back. In fact, you can see that we're getting lots and lots of straw back, which is good. Quite plentiful for straw now, but that's going to be reduced the more we get into winter, because we won't have a way of getting it back. Right, let's actually even just start harvesting up some of these plants. Ah, perfect. We got some new ideas. We made our first little bit of iron. We got 5 iron together, and that means we've unlocked a whole bunch of stuff. Brick floors and such, but also a stone fireplace, which I think we'll put over here if we can. Let's see, if we build up a little rock wall here, and we can build a little fireplace to go there. As far as food goes, we've got 5 days of food, so let's just break down this cooking fire. I don't think we need it anymore. I'm going to say, hey, hurry up, get these rocks built, and then we will also say, hey, get this cooking fire done as well. I think that'll be a good place to start things going from. Over here, we're currently just working on getting our walls done for our little farming area, which will look quite nice. And we can also start producing planks and branches out of logs. Seeing as we've kind of built this entire little hut out of logs rather than straw, because logs far more plentiful than straw, at least at the moment. We'll probably replace all of these straw places as well with logs. Logs are, as I say, far more plentiful than anything else. But yeah, we'll build this up. There we go. Nice little stone walls. Kind of looking like a traditional little cottage. And we'll build ourselves a little fireplace here. Now, this fireplace will take a little bit of stuff to do. It does take 10 iron ingots, but we've got another batch coming in. We're not using the iron for anything else. We're going to say, hey, this is top priority. Get this done lickety-split, if you don't mind. We've got the clay for it. We should have the stones for it as well. Indeed we do. And we should have the rocks for it as well. There we go. People working away. Getting it done. How are we doing over here at Pete? Got a couple more things drying. That's good. One of our sheep going a little bit AWOL. Same with our boar. Probably just looking around to see if where they can find some more food. They have eaten a lot of the grass kind of in this area, so we'll have to keep that in mind. Whole bunch of bluebells here. Surprised we don't have the option of putting up a decoration of bluebells yet, but there we are. Could make a timbery in order to start doing planks and such, but I think we're okay for just now. But we have unlocked a bog iron crusher, which is very useful. So this is how you crush down the bog iron. You kind of crush it down into iron ore so you can then smelt it. Which I think we'll probably just put kind of over here. That seems like a good place to put it. Build a tomb. That's a very fancy place for someone. Don't really plan on having anybody die yet, so fingers crossed that doesn't happen. That'd always be nice. Doing okay for branches as well, which is the main thing. And we should have the iron done now. So that should be all of the iron ingots we need. Perfect, yep, work away. We'll get ourselves a little stone fireplace. These are better because they... well, they obviously give as much heat as a campfire. They might even give slightly more, I can't remember, but they only throw sparks in a single direction, making them far easier to not have them set your place alight. And with those walls, we can see now that when people are going to be sleeping, they're at least not sleeping in the light, unlike they were with that campfire. So that's looking mighty cozy now. A little bit cramped, it must be said, but ah well, beggars can't be choosers. Unfortunately, we are storing a lot of stuff out in the rain, which isn't great. We're going to set ourselves up a little dump here. We're going to say, hey, if anything has decayed, get it out, get it set on this dump. It can decay down on this dump on these tiles we're going to try and use for our growing, which isn't looking like we're going to get it set up before the end of summer, unfortunately. Just far too many jobs to do just now. 154 building jobs, a lot of that thatch stuff. But, you know, what are you going to do? Got a couple of dry peat bricks here. This rain is going to make it so that these ones are no longer drying. We can see here that they're just kind of sitting out in the rain. Not ideal, but can't be helped. Right, let's get rid of this dump over here because we no longer need that. We've got our little dumping area and growing area a little bit closer to home. That's probably a better idea anyway. Day 9 of summer. Things are moving along quite nicely. We've nearly managed to get this path built, although we are running a little bit low on stones, it is to be said. So let's make sure that we're gathering up just a few more stones here. Haven't really seen much happening with these rabbits, unfortunately, which is a little bit of a shame. I'm wondering why we haven't seen any of these rabbits coming out. There's a wildcat den right next to the rabbits. Poor guys. They're not going to be doing well. We should as well see if any of these reeds have finished growing. It looks like a few of them have, just so we can get some extra straw as well for coming into winter. And we probably want to get all these renovations done before winter comes as well, or certainly late autumn comes, because we'll be... basically, whenever you replace the roof, you have to take the previous roof out beforehand, so that does cause the temperature to escape inside the room itself, which isn't ideal. But lots of things to do, not very much time to do it, so people get to work. Making some more tallow, that's great. Tallow is a fairly long-lasting meal, at least in comparison to things like meat and eels. It just doesn't last quite a lot. Basically just fat in it. Rendered fat. So, not really the nicest thing to just, you know, gobble down, but hey-ho. Main thing is things are still ticking along quite nicely. Raining again, unfortunately, but I will say unfortunately, it's always going to be rain. That's just the law of things. And people are working away as best they can. Good stuff, good stuff. We still haven't killed those chickens yet. I guess it's just to show how busy everybody is. Could build some peat walls as well. This iron torch could be a good idea as well, just give off a little bit of light, but we have the cooking place, so we don't particularly need it at the moment. One thing we might run into an issue with is with our construction area, or sorry, not construction area, our crafting areas are outside. It's going to be getting cold, people are going to get cold, and when they're cold they don't like to work as much. They're going to have to keep coming in and getting warm by the fire. Could be an idea to kind of wall these off just so they stay a little bit warmer in the summer, but hey-ho. There we are, finally. We finally got some of those wet peaks, wet peat bricks in, and they're drying out just ever so slightly. People can keep moving them over, that'd be really good. We've got our iron ore pile, although it doesn't seem like we've got very much iron ore, it must be said. And poor Elspeth just carrying on, collecting up these lumps of peat. But she's doing a pretty good job, that's the main thing. Not all of this peat has grown back in. I do really like this little stream that kind of comes down here. It seems very atmospheric. In fact, it's even got like a very small, kind of, not quite a lake, but certainly like a smaller river just down there. coming through the bog. We don't actually have enough stone picks. That's a little bit of a shame. That'll be why we're not getting as much iron as we potentially would like. But never mind. Main thing is people are just working away as best they can. We've even managed to unlock the idea of making oats. Arthur building up our trading post so we could use that. If we don't actually end up killing these chicks, we could potentially sell them for a little bit of extra money whenever a trader does decide to grace us with their presence. And what we've got here, we've got tile floor and a masonry place. Very, very nice. There's another thing we could do. Probably we'll do this more in the winter, is we can use tiles and bricks to make the place look just a little bit nicer inside the house as well. You can see that it's currently got minus 655, and that's just because it's stinky in here, which isn't ideal, it must be said. But not to matter, people are just building away. We're slowly but surely getting this up. I wonder if we maybe just say to everybody, hey, just till this soil. We've got the time. It's gonna take you a little bit of time anyway just to till this out. And you get to all work together a little bit. Clear this out, till it away. Oh, there's a rat hiding there. Oh, and there's no longer a rat hiding there. It looks like he triggered the trap. Hiding in the grass. Little field mouse, probably. Yeah, good stuff. Let's get this done. I want to try and see if we can get at least some onions planted before... that's oats, never mind. Let's make sure we get onions, because we should have more onion seeds, unless they have been ruined by the rain. Doesn't look like it. We can get some onions together, and we can get some oats as well. So yeah, let's get this onion patch done. How much does that need? 5 onion seeds a piece? Yeah, it should be fine. We'll get some oat seeds. We do need the seeds for feeding the animals, but at the same token, it would be nice to get some more food as well. Just a late kind of late summer harvest if we can. We'll say, hey, everybody, these are top priority. Get these done. We've got 1 day of summer left before it starts to turn to autumn. And we'll just see how we do in terms of their growth. No point letting those seeds go to waste. There we go. That's us growing up the oats. Perfect. Love it. Love to see it. Yeah, the game likes to complain about the fact, oh, you're using a lot of emergency boosts, other tasks have been slowed down. I do understand that, but these are things that are very time critical that we need to get done as soon as possible, just so we can get everybody a little bit more food. Speaking of food, we've still got 4 days of it. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Maybe gather some more berries. And certainly we can grab a couple of the mushrooms that are going to grow around these trees when we get a wee second. I'd imagine this place will be absolutely strewn with mushrooms for us to use. Elspeth, you're being a little bit annoying. You're not going to bed. A lot of rats running around. Not something a little bit concerning, but fingers crossed we'll be alright. There we go. Everybody off to bed. Good stuff. It's a very peaceful game, this. Is one of those games where usually I like to have a little bit of combat in sort of city builders and that. But some of the nicest ones just have no combat in it. Something like this, something like Soviet Workers, you know, where there is no military. It's nice to just not have to worry about combat. I mean, admittedly, you do still have to worry about things like wolves in this game, eating up your livestock. They can be a little bit of an issue. But fingers crossed they don't come for us this year, because we don't have any dogs, so like we don't have any like wolfhounds to get them away from us, to chase them off. Speaking of chasing things off, poor little you here, our little you has full wool, but to be fair, probably need it as we're coming into winter. Probably the worst part of that is they've gone through the whole summer with a wool coat on. I think that counts as animal abuse, poor thing. Alright, but we've managed to get ourselves our onions planted. Hey, fantastic. Good job, everybody. So they'll just grow away. Will take a little bit of time to do, but that's no problem to us. Main thing is just getting this task list down as far as we can. Ah, and we got some traders coming in. Perfect. Who's that? Neil. What do we have to sell? We've got a bunch of peat bricks that we could buy. That could be an idea. You know what, given that we just haven't managed to slaughter these chicks, we're going to sell off all the male ones for a little bit of a cash increase. And we're going to buy ourselves a bunch of iron ore and some of those peat bricks. Good stuff, thank you very much. We've got another trader coming in as well. This is why traders are very useful. You want to use them to help speed along things. Oh, some deer. Look at them go. Little baby one as well. Little calf. What do you have for us? Up some more peat bricks. Yep, of course, we'll buy that. We don't need wood ash. We don't need logs. And we don't really want to sell anything else. No, I think we're quite alright. Off you go. How are our boars doing? Our sow should be pregnant. Indeed she is. That'll supply us with some meat for the winter. Depending on how things are going, we can let them grow a little bit so we get a little bit more. But we'll just have to see. Let's pick up these mushrooms. We'll see where else there's mushrooms that are fully grown. There's some there. Some there. And that's all there is for just now. We haven't quite reached autumn yet, so makes sense. Ah, we've finally got a mushroom rack so we can store, dry out our mushrooms. Good stuff. Let's put that over... Now, where do we want to put that? I think we'll get rid of this pet zone here, and we'll just put our little mushroom rack over here. Because we want to make sure it's in a warm place as well. Because if it's cold, it stops. Good reason not to put it inside our little food storage area. Which is looking a little bit smaller now that we're kind of there, but hey-ho. Absolutely fine. Needs must. We've got too much stuff to do at the moment, and not enough time in the day to do it, unfortunately. Elspeth, you're doing a pretty good job of drying out all this peat, and in fact, these guys here are dry. Fantastic. We should be really hauling them over to the peat stack, but I'm sure we'll do that in a second. We're getting lots and lots of straw, which I'm very happy about, because this will mean that we're getting enough straw to see us through the winter. Yep, Arthur just working away, grabbing up all this peat that we've bought. And the main thing is that we're currently getting this all built up, so we're not going to lose the heat that would potentially happen over winter if we were to build it then. And things as a whole looking quite nice, quite comfy, which you like to see. Now, we could start building some straw mats now that we're not having as much of our area being thrown out by sparks. But we still want to be a little bit cautious. We do actually have a lot of bricks, so we could floor up the house, but I want to do that during the winter, if possible, rather than during the summer and the autumn. Because people probably like spending more time indoors when it's a little bit colder than it currently is. In terms of clothing, we've got 2 bottoms, we've got 2 shirts. I'm going to increase the priority on that just ever so slightly, because we do actually want to have people clothed for when things get a bit cooler. Still okay for just now. Still an alright 25-ish degrees. So people are doing okay. It's not even near cold yet, so we're going to have to worry about that when that does come. Another little baby chook. Welcome, welcome. In fact, one of our little female chooks have grown up to be a poulet. So, could actually slaughter this one here, could get some more meat, but given that she will soon be egg laying age, I don't really see the issue with keeping her around just a little bit longer. Still watering up our areas here, and they're growing okay. I'm hoping we can at least get some onions and some seeds out of them here, but that'll be a job just before winter, I imagine. And would you look at that, we've nearly completed our roof. Roof looking a little bit different from the straw, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Plenty of straw being stockpiled up now, 1,400. We've managed to mine out all this iron. Oh, look, little deer posse over here. Herd. Can never remember the actual proper name for a collection of deer. I think it is a herd. Probably wrong about that. Ah, and we've managed to complete our mushroom rack. So what we're going to do is say, hey, let's just make all the dried mushrooms. These mushrooms will keep for ages. Lachlan is a traveller. Yeah, you know what, Lachlan? On you come. You can spend the night with us and our animals, unfortunately. But there is a sheep, in case you come up from Aberdeen. Let's also... we'll keep these stumps here, we don't really need to worry about that. We got any mushrooms that we can clear on out? Nope. There's some more ferns. More ferns. There's a whole bunch of ferns. I'm not seeing too many mushrooms. And there we are. Everybody's just holding up for the night. How's everybody's moods? Anis is incredibly happy, which is good. Arthur, he's not doing too bad, but to be fair, it's quite stinky in here. It looks like he's just had a cold. Everybody else, I mean, actually not that great. Elspeth, you're alright. Anis is okay. Main thing is Arthur. In a little bit of a mood, but I guess it's because he's a little bit grouchy because he's not really had much fun lately. But not to matter. And with that... Oh, there's a fire! Everybody! Quick! Firefighting! Everybody! Quick! Who put that there? Silly people. Make sure that we've got that blocked as well. Okay. Alright, we need to start thinking about flooring this up just so there's not another fire. Oh! And you can see here the room temperature is going down, probably because half of it isn't on fire at the moment. So, probably a good thing. How you doing, Lachlan? You're just kind of chilling around everybody. Yeah, your sleep was disturbed. Yeah, I'm really sorry there was a fire. And with that, we've come into autumn. I think that's probably a good place to stop that. So we've managed to make our way through the summer, get ourselves set up, start growing up a little bit of plants, harvesting some iron, and starting to expand Colquhoun. Not only that, we're making a little bit of money, raising our animals, living an ideal pastoral lifestyle. Anyway, just want to say thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy what we do here at the channel, if you're enjoying Clanfolk as well, let me know down in the comments, and if you'd like to support us further, you can become one of the Burger Band to get access to videos as soon as they're uploaded, rather than when they're set to come out. And you can also support us on Patreon or Coffee, if you would like to. Otherwise, the main thing is to say thank you very much for watching, hope you're enjoying it so far, and until the next time, take care.